Hey, Childcare CEOs. All right, we are on day 2 of us pulling back the onion on our money, making sure that our finances are right. I know that sometimes when our money seems to be flowing or is sufficient, we feel so much better, right? It's not this heavy load on our shoulders. And so if we could just loosen that up a little bit, I think we would be better off and we can run our businesses more effectively and efficiently. So today we're going to be talking about enrollment strategy. And I'm coming from 2 places when I talk about enrollment. Let me explain. So one, I don't want us to just look at total enrollment, right? I understand we may be licensed for X number. Let's just find easy numbers. Licensed for 50, and maybe our enrollment is 40. Great, right? We do need to know that number. But something I want us to dig a little deeper into is our enrollment makeup, the percentage of age groups that make up our enrollment. And so we're going to talk about currently what your numbers are, but we also want to look at trends and we want to take a look back at historical data because it tells us something. So let me stick with currently right now. Take a look at what percentage each age group makes up your revenue. How many infants, how many toddlers, preschool, school age, and what percentage of each of those age groups make up your revenue, right? So do that again, paper, pencil, Excel sheet, Google sheet, something that helps you just document, right? That way you can have it and take a look at it. So that's one, because what it does is it helps us get an idea as to, yes, we might have 40 enrolled, 42 enrolled out of our 50 licensed children, but what age groups are making up the largest percentage of our enrollment? And so we want to know that now. But then after you do that, take a look at the last 3 years. And the reason I like to look at historical data is because sometimes it shows patterns. If, for example, you went back 3 years ago and there was a different makeup of enrollment by age group, and then it shifted in year 2, we just want to see, what did your revenue look like when it was a different percentage of infants or a different percentage of preschool? Were you better off then with that makeup, or are you better off now with this new mix of percentages? Maybe you have more preschool than toddlers. So it's really just giving us data, and it's letting us know which makeup feels most comfortable. For example, infants 10%, I'm just making numbers up. Infants 10%, toddlers 25%, pre-K 50%, and then school age the remainder, right? Maybe that's where it is currently. And maybe you look back 2 years ago and it's opposite. I don't know. Infants made up 25%, toddlers 30%, preschool less than 50%. You understand what I'm saying? And so we just want to look at it and say, okay, 2 years ago, here's how much revenue we had. It actually seemed to have been higher with that makeup. Right now, here is the makeup of our enrollment mix, and here's what our revenue looks like. It just helps us to see what's actually happening under the surface in our business, okay? So when we look at it that way, it allows us to, again, just get an idea as to which age groups seem to drive our business more than others. Maybe it's an even mix. It's just information. So I just want us to be able to see, because typically, especially if you go back to day 1, typically particular age groups may cost more or they may bring in more revenue. That's what I want to help you see, is what makeup is best for my program. Part 2 of that, once you get that data, it starts to tell you, here's where I need to put my marketing efforts, right? So if I am 80% enrolled and I look at, well, how many infants do I have? Am I full in that class? How many toddlers do I have? Am I full there? And If I have the most need in preschool, for example, maybe I am 70% full with my preschool program. When I start doing my marketing, I'm not going to try to enroll everyone. I want to really target my marketing efforts towards the age group that I really need. Okay, so it is April right now, end of April. We are so close to summertime. My strategy right now is summertime. Okay, so I understand in my program that school age, we have a bigger population during the summer, and we have less pre-K because the school year has ended. That's just how my program works. Again, I'm clear about it because I follow the patterns in my business. But I know that when we start marketing for summer camp, which is really early March, I know that I'm focusing on two things, honestly, for us. I'm focusing on school age because I want to be as full as possible in the summer, but I'm also focusing on preschool children because we typically graduate a large number of preschool children in June. So this year and last, we were about 90 to 100 children who were graduating. That means I need to fill that again for the upcoming school year. The best way for me to do that is start to make sure that I'm bringing those children in the summer, and then they can stay. So that's how I get to really strategize my marketing because I already know the trends of each age group. Okay, so here's the homework. Go and take a look at your current enrollment mix. What's the percentage of infants, toddlers, preschool, and school age that you have enrolled right now? Of course, I actually take a step back and I want the first column to be, here's my licensing, right? So if you are licensed for 50, what's the most infants you can have? What's the most toddlers, right? Based on your classrooms. That way on the left side, you get to always look and say, okay, well, I can't have any more than 8. 8 is my cap for infants. 10 is my cap for toddlers. 20 is my cap for pre-K, whatever that may be. So you see what that is. And you actually can look at the percentage of your licensing based on your total licensed number of children. Okay, so again, you are listing out infants. I can have a max of 8. That 8 and divided by your total licensing number, you'll be able to say, here's a percentage of infants based on my licensing. That's just information from a licensing perspective. Then we want to look at actual enrollment. So if your max is 8 infants, how many do you have enrolled? Maybe you have 6. Okay, you might have space for 2 more. But all this is numbers. All of this is numbers. And I don't want to confuse you, but keep your max, your licensing number on the left, just as a reference. And then have another column that says, here is what my enrollment looks like right now. And this is the amount of revenue that I'm getting for the number of children I have enrolled right now. So then I can see, well, the current enrollment has this percentage of infants, this percentage of toddlers, this percentage of pre-K, and here's the revenue that brings. It's information. And then I'm going to go, let's just say 2 years for now. I don't want to do too much. Let's go back 2 years and say, what did it look like 2 years ago? Now, if you don't have the historical data, if for some reason you can't pull that information, do not worry. What I will say going forward, though, is keep track of your enrollment every single month. That way you can always go back and say, what's happening right now? It feels different. We used to be full. We used to have enough money. Right now, it seems like we don't. You can always go back and just look at what may have changed. Okay, that's just going forward. So again, we are looking at current enrollment. What is your enrollment mix, meaning the percentage of each age group, and what is the revenue that it brings? Okay. I'm going to leave it there because I had even more ideas and strategies, but we just want to know what our enrollment mix is. And then what you're going to do after that, I'll leave it here, is based on what those numbers are telling you, you should have an idea as to, oh, here's who I need to market to fill up this gap. here is the age group that's going to bring me in the most revenue. If it's all of them, if you need children in each age group, then no problem. Literally mark it and say enrolling now for infants, toddlers, and pre-K. Just be specific and just let people know this is what I have. Now, if you have a class that's typically full and you have a couple of spots, call that number out, right? We have 2 pre-K enrollment spots going fast. Let people know I only have 2. So if you've been interested in my program, you might want to enroll right now. Okay, so the information that you have is really helping you to take action in filling your program, but not just throwing your net out there trying to get anyone. You are specifically trying to enroll a particular age group that's really going to help you maximize your revenue. Okay, what questions do you have? What came up? Let me know. I get so excited about it, but I don't want to do too much. But that is day 2 of the mini series. Enrollment mix, enrollment strategy. If you missed day 1, go back and watch that one and make sure your true cost of care is clear. And then don't forget to either subscribe or keep track of where we are, because tomorrow, day 3, I'm going to start talking about staffing, okay? Because all of this impacts our bottom line. It impacts our money, and we need to know what's going on so that we're not wasting our time using wrong strategies. All right? I'll talk to you soon.